Assalamu alaikum. Raheem here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Brothers and sisters, even if you're blind and deaf, you still can feel the change. Change is about to take place. The change is taking place. Just hasn't hit the boiling point yet. We're fast approaching that threshold. Threshold means a point where something changes from one thing to another. See, that's what basically what threshold means, scientific explanation. So you reach a certain point, then you change into something else, where water changed to steam, or water begins to boil, threshold. Water changed to ice, coal changed to diamond. It reaches threshold, then there's a change. And we're fast coming to that, a universal change. The world has never been, in the last 6,000 years, in a universal state, meaning everything's connected, everybody knows what everyone else is doing, everything is connected. So any change one place is a change every place. So we're going to talk about the fundamental laws behind all of this. Before we get to that, let's talk about some basic things that's going on. It's important that we have an understanding of ourselves, our nation, our God, how we got here, our history. And a lot of it has to do with history, because we don't know our history. We had no idea of our history until Master Prophet Muhammad came and gave us, well, he gave us a narration of our history. He didn't give us all the details. He gave us like a template, right? A basic timeline or basic sketch. See, he didn't go into all the details. See, but just gives us a basic idea. So it would take Suleiman to come along and fill in a lot of the blanks. But you're going to hear after it be totally clear. But a lot of things you have to understand. If he had told Elijah Muhammad 100% of everything, he would not have told Elijah Muhammad to study. If you tell someone everything, there's nothing for them to study. He told him to study. So it means he gave him a basic outline. So now this is the basic, these are lessons. Now you go study and fill as many blanks as you possibly can. And do whatever you need to do to get this message to the people. Whatever. We have carte blanche. So we have no quarrels with Elijah Muhammad. A lot of things he made errors in a lot of things. I'm not going to go into some of them. I can go into some of them, but he made, because he was told to study. Even in the lesson, it said he didn't get 100% correct. But you hear these people, it's like, he's totally, he's impossible. I mean, the same thing they say about all the prophets. Like, you Sunnis, like Prophet Muhammad, like this. It was impossible for him to even err in any respect. Perfection. That's not correct. Even the lesson tell you that. But we don't have any problems with that. He did his job. He did it well. That's the bottom line. But he said his stuff. See, you have these people, they want to pick and choose and quote this scripture, that scripture. They don't go to all the details. That's why I was there in Chicago with him for 5 years. I wanted to be an eyewitness. I didn't want to hear secondhand stuff. He also said if he taught everything, right, the one behind him would have nothing to teach. Why was he saying that? See, they won't tell you that part, like, ain't nobody coming after Elijah Muhammad. And right there, the scripture they tell you to validate Elijah Muhammad in Malachi, it says it right there, that the messenger of the covenant will come, that's the one that will come to his temple. So that means there's another messenger coming out behind him, the messenger of the covenant. What they mean by the messenger of the covenant? That means he's going to come and tell us about the covenant. Elijah Muhammad came and gave us a background, right? He gave us a basic background. He said he would restore all things, right? That means he gives us a background, told us who we were, right? Our basic history. He restored all things. But this one will come and be telling you, emphasizing the covenant. He coming, that's what he is. He coming because Farad came to enforce the covenant. Suleiman will come and fulfill the covenant. That's all he would do before he would make it clear the covenant, he would fulfill it. You see? Farad's going to enforce it. He's the enforcer of it. But Suleiman is the judge of it. Understand? That's the story. And it says it right there. It's called the Lord. The Lord you seek. So why are you still seeking him when Elijah is present? Shall come to his temple, to Elijah's temple. See? And he's coming full of soap to clean it up. So is he coming to clean up Elijah's mess? Because he comes to Elijah's temple, right? But is he coming to clean up Elijah's mess? Or the mess that was created after Elijah left? Because we got someone else sitting in the temple also. So wait a minute, let's figure this out now. We got the God, Farad. He comes and raises Moses, Elijah. Elijah has this spokesman that Farad objects to. Okay? And then Elijah or Moses goes away, and his interim comes Aaron, and then Joshua comes, right? So, and Joshua is the one that fulfills the covenant because he actually fulfills it. Moses didn't fulfill it. See, the anointment went to, the torch went to Joshua or Jesus, and he's the one to take us to. And see, Joshua's one of the few that was left that knew Moses. Because during the wilderness, most people that knew Moses was gone. Joshua was one of the few that was left. So he was someone that was actually with Moses, right? So you have, he's the one actually, he fulfills it. He's the messenger of the covenant. See, because he is the covenant. He's the messenger of the covenant. He's fulfilled it. He comes in and he's telling you about it and he fulfills it. Makes you understand, you understand it, right? And that's what he does. So let's put this together now. First, who was in bondage. Farad comes, right? Raises Moses. So Farad sets the temple up. Moses sat in the seat. Elijah sits in the seat for about 40 years. Then Aaron sits in the seat for about 40 years. Then Joshua comes and takes it all the way to the promised land. Now we got this mysterious figure called the son of perdition. He also sits in the temple. So you ask yourself, well, wait a minute, it does say temple, it doesn't say synagogue, it doesn't say church, right? It doesn't say any of that. It doesn't say mosque, it says temple. So let's put this together, let's see. So if it starts out with, Farad builds the temple, right? Elijah sits in the temple. Then Aaron sits in the temple after him, who Farad objected to, and then comes Joshua. So, okay, so Joshua's one to break the seals and everything. He's one to take us through there. So where's this son of perdition fit in there? Because he says temple also. Well, he can't be sitting there. Well, Elijah's sitting in there. Because we know Elijah, he's kosher, he's cool. No. So, and remember, he makes war with the saints and overcomes them for 42 years. So he couldn't have done, he couldn't have been Elijah, couldn't have done during Elijah's time, because Elijah protected them. So he's not doing it Joshua's time unless you're saying this is going to happen after that. After they get to the promised land, they can go back and, they're going to be persecuted and overcome for 42 years. So where does he fit in there? Where does he fit in that timeline? Unless this some edition don't exist, and even Farrakhan say it exists. So where does he fit in that timeline? Only ways he could fit in that timeline has to fit the timeline during Aaron. So unless they both of them sitting in the temple at the same time, all the scriptures scream out to you who Farrakhan is. All the scriptures. So if you're deceived by him, it's because you're a demon, or you're a fool, right? Or you're an idolater. It says those with him, right? They had no love for truth. So you have no love for truth, because if you did, he wouldn't last 2 seconds. No matter what scripture you read, it shells out. That guy's foul. And then plus Allah put a clear sign on his ass. A visible flame. He's got him disemboweled. You think that was a virtue? Oh man, I'm really holy now, because I don't have to go to the bathroom no more. I can just sit here and shit, piss in the bag. See, that's what they think. You think, he's really holy now. He's really Jesus now, because you don't have to shit and piss anymore. You don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. He just do it in the bag. See? And he passed the bag around. See? And share with all his followers, because he's so holy, it's not really shit and piss, right? It's really honey and wine. To go along him, that's the way you got to be thinking, period. Anyway, let's go a brief little thing here, because this is important. All of it is important. But you don't know your enemies are. So we can go through a little brief history thing, then we'll get into the main topic here about the 5 fundamental mathematical principles of the universe, which those in the know should know about, should have told you about before now, and you'll see. We're going to go back 50,000 years to Dr. Shabazz. You have to understand scripture. All this stuff is in the scripture. We see a story about what Joseph, the tribes, they tried to get rid of him. He's going to end up in Egypt. See, that's talking about, because Elijah Muhammad said, Dr. Shabazz went to the other side, the other tribes. They didn't agree with him. See? So he went down to Africa. They didn't tell you how he got down to Africa, because they kicked him out. Read the story, Joe, they kicked him out. You see? In this case, 50,000 years ago, Egypt was, it wasn't America, so at that point, Egypt was Egypt. So that means he went down in this, because Arabia is Africa, it's northern Africa, so he went down more southern, not in southern Africa, but south of Arabia. So he went there, they kicked him out. But agreement was made, there was agreement made somewhere along the line about the Abrahamic covenant, and everybody signed on to it. And the supreme being at that time, who Farah is a direct descendant of, said, I will enforce it. I'm going to enforce it, certified it, notarized it. I'm going to enforce this agreement. And they kicked him out. They kicked us out. We the tribe of Shabazz was made tribes. That's why I said it was everybody who wouldn't talk about tribe, would he? He was one of the tribes. Read story Joseph. All the other tribes kicked one tribe out. Right? They threw him into Egypt, at that time, Egypt. Egypt wasn't even called Egypt then. That's story Joseph. Because we're Joseph. We end up in the enslaved, was kicked out. They kicked us out. All the tribes. See, everybody's our enemy. Because it says, why? It says because they knew that we were going to be inheritors of Abraham, of Abraham, who's going to be the primary tribe at the end of this period of energy deprivation. Because that's what he went to about. Says we're getting ready to go into a period of energy deprivation. This was coming. I mean, energy became less and less and less because they was putting it out there. I mean, scientists, they know if they take energy from the earth and put it out there, it's going to be less energy here. But they wanted to create the heavens and earth. See, the point, in this expansion phase, the universe contracts and expands, contracts and expands without end. And in the expansion state, that's where we make the heavens. That's what the Quran says. The earth and the heavens were one, and then we expand them. So we made all that. And it took 76 trillion years to make all of that, put all that out there. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. That's our work. And then we rest after that. Which means we rest. Now we enjoy the next 76 trillion. That's why it says nothing but paradise. Because we enjoy what we did for the first 76 trillion years. It wasn't that we was in pain doing it. We did it in happiness and joy. But we got weaker and weaker and weaker as time went on. As we put more and more energy out there. But we perfected our creation in the process. Because everything, all the life you see out there came from us. It was only one life. The Quran tells you, from all life came from one being. Who was one being in the end, just one being in the beginning. And then all life came from us. And by doing that, we perfected ourselves. All life you see, they tell you, oh, we came from the me. But no, all that stuff came from us. First, we came to the light, the simplest ones. Me, but then deeper, more complicated. Until when we got to this point, we brought the most complex one out. That's what you see in the cave, Yakub's creation, because he's almost like us. That's the only one that was able to talk. That's why the Quran says, I'm going to raise up a beast from the earth that will speak to you. That's the last, as we started the most simplest creation, and now when it got to the end of it, totally expand, because when you expand something, right, tension opposite of pressure. When you're expanding things, right, it becomes more and more tense, more and more tense. That means at first little tension, right, that's the smallest ones, less complex. And as it gets more, the more complicated things come out, pull things out. See, pressure pushes things in, tension pulls things out. So we kept pulling things out, little things as we pull something out, then we became more perfect in our structure and our appearance. So we pull the most simplest thing, then plant life, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Then animal life, so on, so on, so on, right? Until eventually, at the maximum, we pull something almost like us, almost like us in every way, has a form like us and everything, but it's not us. It's a beast, because everything came from us as beast, but it has human capabilities. That's why it says a beast that will speak, a speaking beast. That's why the scriptures refer to them as beasts, because they are beasts. They speak. They act like beasts. We can't blame for acting like beasts because that's what they said. We can't blame Adam for making Mishra shed blood because that's what he was made. That's his nature. And every time we pull something out, right, we give it a degree of independence until we bring it into submission. So it's defined everything, it's defined itself in place in nature, and then we bring it into submission. And so that's why we gave cave their degree of independence. Now we can bring them into submission. That's what we do it. So we bring something out of us, then it has to find its way in nature. But the timing is right because the tension what pulled it, right, into existence, the universe at that state, at that point in time, right, is the climate and everything is just right for that to happen. So it can exist. It couldn't exist before that time. But now it's that time, so now the climate, everything is, just right for it to exist. So we bring it out, and now it fits into nature. That's where everything fits in perfectly. Everything fits in perfectly. Because cave come along and start messing stuff up. See? It fits in perfectly. But we give it a little, sense of independence, right? So it finds its way, gets, totally in sync and everything. And then we bring it into submission. See? And now we're about to bring cave into submission. We let it run wild. See? As we said in chapter 19, the beast was captured. We let him run wild. For 6,000 years, we let him run wild. When he interfered a couple of times, when he got too wild, we had to slow him down. Like, that's what Prophet Muhammad had to do, slow him down a little bit. Got too wild. But he's been running around wild, so now we about to put a hook. So now bring him into submission. Yeah, he's coming to submission. And right now he's on his knees. We're going to bring him into submission. Total submission. See? But they will not have a place with us. They have a place in the field. They're going back to the beast they were. They won't be totally extinct. But eventually they will be. Because as we start, this creation starts contracting, it's contracting now, then we start bringing things back into us. That's why it says everything returns to Allah in the end. So we start bringing it back. As we took it out, we start bringing it back. And then it'll just be us again. And then we start the creation over again. It's just right there, brothers and sisters. They talk about the Quran, they don't understand it, they don't understand their own book. Yet they're always pushing in everybody's face, they don't understand themselves. And we see that when we start talking about the mathematics, 5 basic mathematical principles. Anyway, we was betrayed by the other tribes. Envious. They didn't want us to, so they forced us out into what is known now as called Africa now, but Arabia was North Africa. That's part of the planet Earth. So they knew, they knew Dr. Yaqub was coming, because I mean, that was already agreed upon. That during this particular time, 6,000, everybody was on board with that one. They just learned how to deal with it. Because they said, with 6,000 years, no, we would suffer energy deprivation. That's part of the nature of the creation. I mean, well, I'm not going to let math details about it, but everybody had different ways to deal with it. And so you find that the so-called people over here, the so-called native people, how'd they get over here? Elijah Muhammad said, see, there's a couple of things going on behind that. But one of the things was, he said they was exiled over here because they was the first enemies of Islam, because they started worshiping sticks and stones. You see. So you want to start having these Negroes that start bleeding their heart, oh, they go to Native America, all that kind of stuff. Elijah Muhammad didn't have that feeling about them. He says, if they lost this country, it's their fault. They were stupid enough to let somebody take it away from them. So I'm not having no bleeding heart, right? Yeah, they're original, but they was the first enemies of Islam. He made that clear. So why don't they read that part? So now they want to tell, oh, the Mexicans are blood. Yeah, well, they are our original people, but they don't have no part of our covenant. And they was part of the tribes that kicked us, that tried to put us down. And they was exiled by the other tribes over here because they just went crazy. So I worship with sticks and stones and things like that. And so that's how they came over here. So that's how they got over here. Read the lessons. That's how they got here. So I'm not shedding any tears for them. And now they're trying to, so we got all these, see, well, first of all, we start with the tribes, right? Everybody was against us, but specifically Ishmael. Specifically Ishmael. See? He was the leader of this whole thing because he was one of the sons of Abraham, the eldest son. But he was the eldest son from a maid. And he said, well, why not white people back there at that time? No, it wasn't. See? We're going forward, right? During Prophet Muhammad's time, see? But the idea of Ishmael was way back there. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me just, we'll talk more about that another time. The thing is that the idea, see, he's the oldest son. You got to understand. See, one thing is missing here in this conversation is, remember, these people are thinking forward. So they can see down the line, right, their children and what's going to happen to their children. So they act back there in a way to protect their children that's going to come 1,000, 10,000 years later. They forward-seeing people. So that's what I should have said. And so, because people get mixed up. Anyway, we get back to Ishmael. Ishmael was Abraham's oldest son, but by his servant, who was Egyptian, because Egyptian spirit, physical, scripturally means America, because we're in America right here, or the Europeans in general. So that means she was Caucasian. And then he married an Egyptian. That's how they got white, because there wasn't any white people back there. That's how they got white. Everybody was dark back there, right? So when Dr. Shabazz, let me backtrack a little bit. Dr. Shabazz took us, he said, okay, they don't kick us out. So, and he said, he see what they're going to do with us. So he said, let's make us hard as possible, because he's prepared for war. Why do you think he was prepared for war? He knew we was going to have to go to war against all these nations. They already kicked us out. They already showed their attention. They want to stop us. They weren't powerful enough to do it back there. But that would be their plan. Remember, he's forward. He could see ahead. So he knew they was going to renege on the deal. So he made his power strong as powerful as possible. As strong as possible. Because you know we're going to be going to war. We had to go to war. Because they intended to destroy. Their intention was to destroy us. Way back there. But they knew all of them knew Dr. You come along. You know, someone had all kinds of ideas how to deal with it. There wasn't any people like Chinese or anything around. That's a whole other story. So you had those that got kicked out because they said the first enemy of Islam. The other tribe wasn't enemy of Islam, they was enemy of us. That's the difference. See? So that's how they got over here. So go along 6,000 years later, Yaqub makes his creation, right? Now they were supposed to serve us. See, they were supposed to suffer civilization because they wouldn't suffer from energy deprivation. That's the whole idea. See, we would suffer energy deprivation because everybody gets the same amount of energy. Everyone gets the same amount of energy. Let's get to understand it. Everyone has the same amount of energy. Exactly, everybody. Right? It's how it's distributed. But we require much more energy. Like a Lamborghini requires much more care. The premium gas, the whole 9 yards, you can't just throw gas and stuff in there. The best tires, and so it's very expensive to take care of that. So if you make the same kind of money, then the person that's driving the Lamborghini and that person with 4-5 Beetle, if they make the same kind of money, then if all your money is locked in to take care of that Lamborghini, you don't have no money to do anything else. The other guy, he's going out doing his thing, right? That's the deal. That's the whole idea behind Yaqub's creation. So make a man, right? He was going to make a man a ruler in the earth because he had power to rule. It'd be a bad rule, mischief and shed blood, but a bad rule is better than no rule. A wicked civilization is better than no civilization. Dirty water is better than no water. That's the idea behind that. So we knew they would be enemy to us because the idea was, you know, they run civilization. But they kept giving prophets trying to modify them, you know, moderate them, say, okay, yeah, but, you know, be righteous about this thing. Try it. You see? And no, they couldn't get them to do it. They ended up paying in the end. See? So they're enemy. See? So now we got Ishmael, that's their enemy. Because they got everything. They say, the heritage, see, we're supposed to inherit everything. That's why I did behind Dr. Shabazz. But they said, no, they should get it. See, because they stayed up in Arabia. See, we the ones who went to Africa. See, they figured, hey, they got it. They don't give it back to us because they kicked us out. They want it all themselves. So they've had it ever since then. So they got them. You got the so-called Native Americans over here. It's our first enemy. That's what it says. Then you got Yaqub's creation, Europeans, see, which include Satan or the false Israel. Then you got so-called Chinese. I don't think I'm going to go into that right now. I got talked about that before, Mongolism and all that, how it came about. because I would be here. I want to get to the main subject. I'm just trying to get some background here. All these people against you. They were against you. All I remember, it started out, this is in their minds, it's playing in their mind, because they started out, all it was against you to begin with. That's why he threw us out of Arabia. And it started out with Ishmael doing that. I mean, you know, his ancestors. Because Dr. Shabazz, he wanted to, his people inherit, and our ancestor, and Ishmael, his ancestors, remember, they looked down the line already. They said, no, Ishmael should get it. He's the firstborn. So when Ishmael came along, he was just filling what his ancestors already said for him. You understand? This already set all back already 50,000 years ago. So now we come to more current times, and we look around, we see what we see. Everybody's against us. And these people haven't forgotten. You think, look, China's been what 3,000 years, whatever they say? You think what you think their histories they wrote? You think that stuff was lost? You think the Egyptians, their stuff in Africa was lost? Do you really think that? They got the pyramid stuff, you think that stuff was lost? They lost to you. They ain't telling you. Where did Farag get it from if it was lost? He got it from other scientists. They had those books. That history's out there. They know exactly what's going on. They know who you are. And they know the deal. The point is, as long as you don't know who you are, then they have control of the situation. That's where Farag came in. And then, see, I don't talk about this background information too much. You think this demon thing, you think that would just happen, it's just out of lust? No, that was planned too. I mean, you can get a hint of it if you go back to what happened in Australia. That was actually part of their whole governmental societal plan, was to breed out all the Aborigines, to breed them out. So that was, these people planned way ahead. This stuff been planned. Like I said, you know, the deaths of Satan. This stuff been planned, and now the angel's revealing all this stuff, because this was supposed to be revealed. And they want to stop. They're doing everything to stop me from telling you. They already tried to take me out. They can't try that again. See, and I don't think they ain't gonna mess me anymore. I don't think they're stupid. See, because I am protected. But this thing about demons, that was set up. That was one of the last tricks. Elijah Muhammad said the last trick would be that woman. But people didn't pay attention to that, because they looked at it, because when Elijah Muhammad said, I was there, and the brothers and sisters, they do all kinds of crazy ideas. Some had crazy ideas about that. Because these women's going to look like black women, but they're going to come in and build the brothers out of. So the brothers didn't think of it like they would be devil's children. He thought like they would have some kind of chemical reconstruction or something. But the simplest way is they were just demons. So he put that away. And so now we're plagued by demons. Because half the nation, half of black folks in America are demons. And they said, well, you see, anything ain't black, we the trash can. Anything black is black. They're throwing trash. It's us. Not. You got Indians darker than most black people over here. You got Indians darker than somebody in Africa. From India. And so you mean they black? They black, but they ain't not us. See how they do? Anything that's not white, it's black. So no, I'm not accepting that. And now you got these Negroes, hey man, you so our division. I don't care, they can be black as they want to be. They ain't us, they ain't part of me. If they're original, they're demon, I don't have nothing to do with them. Farrakhan's father's a devil. You think I'm going to accept him as my brother? How in the hell does that work? If I'm accepting him as my brother, I accept his father as my brother too. Are you that dumb? He's your brother. He think like his father. Because if he got the seed came, he's for the seed of his father, not his mother. That's a plan too. That'd be the last strike against us. And that'd be one way for them to get into the hereafter. Because they know they can't get any other kind of way. So they can sneak in undercover, looking like us. They'd still be devils. They'd be in the hereafter devils. Devils in the hereafter looking like us, hiding. Wolves in sheep clothing. And you still don't get it. And you can understand why I don't get it. Because this fanaticism or this democratic thing, it's woo. I ran into a person the other day, man, and I used to talk to him. And so I ran into him, he doesn't live far from me. I ran into him. Something came about Trump, and man, that dude went off. He went crazy. I mean, I told him, we have casual conversations, right? He called some kind of so-called Brutus or something, Negro. He went off, man. Wanted to call me names, got personal. I said, man, hey, that's the end of that. I had nothing to do with him no more. He never coming around me anymore because I don't tolerate that bull. You don't disrespect me and survive. It's not going to happen. See, because if you accept it, then if you accept disrespect, you're going to get disrespect. You foam at the mouth. That's where these people react. And it's totally irrational. I asked him one question. He wouldn't let me ask the question. I asked one question. I said, well, people getting all foaming at the mouth, about 6 million people wiped out in Germany. I said, well, what would people think about 22 million black babies being slaughtered in Planned Parenthood slaughterhouses that was set up by a known person, Margaret Singer, who stated clearly the whole purpose of setting this up was to eradicate black people. That's the whole reason why she set it up, is that she would use black leaders and preachers to help her promote that program. She would fool them or trick them, whatever way. Anyway, she have them. It's right there. It's not gonna make it up. It's not conspiracy. It's about history. I couldn't even get any of that out. So I said, Mom, hey man, the women's have right on. She better only buy it. I said, wait a minute, bro. I said, I ain't getting into all that. I'm just asking you. Well, I had a few aborted myself, so that pretty much told me right there what's going on. I said, what about they aborted you? See, there's no logic, nothing there. And I don't look. I was through at that point. And I never had nothing to do with it. He didn't ever come around me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I let him off that time because I just walked away. But if he'll try to speak to me again, I'm gonna let him know I don't talk to demons. I don't talk to these dumbass niggas. That's what he's gonna get from me, because that's what he is. See, so he got a reprieve. I just walked away. But the thing is that's the state we're in. Now, it's mostly demons stuff like that, but they got a lot of original people wrapped up in that too. We shouldn't even be thinking about that. We should be thinking about getting the hell out of here. And most of us are. You just don't hear that. So you don't hear that on the news. You don't hear that because those people on the news and the people on TV and all that stuff, you understand? They're out there because they're master's children, but they would never get in Hollywood, TV, sports, entertainment. They would never get there. You saw what happened to Copernic. He said a little bit and they slapped him down just a little bit. See, they slave master children. Same idea. If you still think where it was back in so-called child slavery, same structure. Now just they call it different names. Just call it different names. Same thing. Okay. So they're slave master children. So they think like slave master. And you take these people, see, let me say this another thing, then we get into the presentation. They developed this picture. I mentioned that before. See, the reality they're giving you, see, remember, your mind is what it's all about, right? So, they're giving you this picture of what reality is. You know, framed by the scripture. So in that picture, right, Ishmael, that's Sunnis, Arabs, right? Okay. Then Isaac, that's represented by the so-called Jews. So that's the picture you got, right? Then you got America in there, right? See? Now all these people have claims, see, to our land. Because Ishmael said, we got it. See, we the firstborn son of Abraham. See? False Israel saying, we Isaac. See, they're making our claim. No, we don't want supposed to get according to scripture. That's why they're over there taking there, right? Trying to take over. Which, if they get knocked Iran out, they would be able to do that. But right now they're out. That's the picture they have. Then America says, well, when Jesus came, he abrogated the contract with those two guys. And now we the new seed of Abraham. We the scriptural. See, all of them laying the same claims. See, we're the spiritual sons of Abraham. Spiritual seed. That's a picture. So where did that leave us? See? Then you got the story in the Bible about Ham. Ham was rejected. He's a servant. He'd be servant to his brothers forever because he was immoral. He's wicked. No, he didn't have no morals. He's a beast. Savage. That's Ham. See? That's us. See? See, they got this picture of those three. Then they got the little, out there in the field, in the crowd. That's us. We run little animals run around in the crowd. That's the picture. That's the picture. See, they're telling you that. That's the picture the world sees. That's the picture they're telling everybody. That's what preachers telling everybody. They always say we're Ham. These white preachers, they was worse than slaves. No, they weren't, because they was one telling that's the whole story. And that's why it was acceptable, because we was Ham. We was the slaves. God chose to be slaves, but we was immoral. We was savages. Stupid, immoral people. So we didn't have any right to any of that. And that's the picture framed in the scripture. That's the picture the whole world has. That's the picture the whole world has in their mind right now. Only conflict is who is the real inheritor of Abraham. Because remember, Ishmael said, we got it. So their possession is 9/10 of the law. We got it. See? The Jews say, no, according to scripture, we're the ones because it says that inheritance would go to us because Sarah was my mother and she was the actual married to Abraham. You understand? So that's us. See, they're making our argument because they pretend to be us. Then the Christians or Europeans said, no, Jesus came and he made us, he said, they wasn't doing the right thing, right? They sinned or whatever, they rejected Jesus. So we're the new spiritual sons. The New Testament, that's what I call it, New Testament. We're spiritual sons. We're spiritual seed of Abraham. So it's all of them making these claims. All of it says all ours. See? And all of them over there trying to, and where are they all three right now? Are you paying attention in this, Moses? They're all in the Middle East fighting with each other. Over what? Over the Middle East. You got false Israel trying to take it away from the Arabs. You got America over there. What Trump say? We're going to take the oil. Try to take the resources. They don't have, because that's the picture they got. And we left out of the picture. And how they reinforce that picture? How they reinforce that picture? With these niggas over here like Martin Lawrence and all these clowns, right? Chris, all these clowns, right? Because look at the movies they put. That's why Hollywood, who's running Hollywood? False Israel. And they make it every world see they're really Ham. See how ignorant they are, how stupid they are, how they treat their women, how women get on there with their neck and shaking their ass. You see what they're doing? Do you understand any of this? So they're reinforcing that. And these niggas, those are demons, right? Because remember, that's the whole plan, right? Because they had to have black people. Remember, they used to use black face. They said, oh, that ain't gonna work. So we got black face ain't gonna work. So we're gonna really have some real, put some real black on them. Have our children. It'd be our children, but they'd be black face, tar babies. That's right, tar babies. White on the inside, black on the outside, tar babies, right? So they said that black wasn't going to work, you know, right? So we just have some real ones. See, demons, half devil, half man, and so we can use them to reinforce this idea that the original people are really Ham. See, because they really acting like they're supposed to act like that's what they are demons. That's what they act. I mean, but see, they attribute that to us. They're out there selling drugs, out there killing people, all the stuff they're doing, raping, and all the stuff that's on the TV, acting like fools. Do you really know any real people out there? Do you really know real people that act like that? No, you don't. It's a character of us. And it's spread all over the world. You go in China, I don't know niggas over here. They had big suit with McDonald's because they made McDonald's put a sign in the store, no niggas or no blacks up to that extent, don't come in here, over in China. That's the picture they got. And you worshiping these niggas, you paying money to go see these darn movies and stuff and open all these people, right? And they picking it, you know, they solidifying that image. You understand? I'm trying to put this whole thing together for you, brothers and sisters. They're demons. That's the whole purpose. They look like us, walk, talk, but that's not the way I act. On my worst day, I never act like them fools. And so they make a mockery of you all over the world. And the Africans hate them because they look like the Africans, and so Africans take the hit too. Because people think of Africans like that. I can't tell you, I was a contractor, how many contracts, you understand, that fell apart because they were expecting me to act like those niggas act. And you know, I've had people come and tell me, man, you're different. Even when I was younger, after Elijah Muhammad, you know, well, even when I was in the military, before I even knew anything about Elijah Muhammad, even in the military, people, something different, you're different. Because I was being myself, even then I had something to be myself, and I sure wouldn't act like that, and I sure wasn't using them as a role model. I didn't even want to be anything like them. I was even then, I was saying to them, I didn't like that stupid, what that show, what was the name, Prince or something, what was the name? Not Fresh Prince, what was that one? Something J, whatever. I can't remember the name of it, right? But he would, I can't think of the name. I should name it. You know, this show was on there. He was it was a total clown. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I wouldn't watch none of that stuff. And when my children came along, I didn't let them watch it either. I didn't let them watch it either. And I'll tell you a little story number one. I don't know what this was all about. But when I was in Vietnam, white people walked up to me. I don't know what this was all about. I know they recruit people and stuff like that there, right? The guy asked me, says, would I be willing, you know, to work in entertain, you know, Hollywood, you know, whatever, not Hollywood, actually, but like TV show, like this. I can't think of this. I know you know what this show is. Something. This guy was well, anyway, they come to me. So I said, really? I said, well, what I gotta do? But he used this guy I'm trying to tell you about as an example. You know, you could be something like, he was very popular, this Negro back in the 60s. I don't know why I can't think what the name was, the name of that show. Sound like it was Jay something. Anyway, I said, well, I gotta act like that? Yeah, man. So I don't want to act like that. Why would I act like that for? This is a white group. I never came out of nowhere. So what do I act like that for? At the time I was about 19, I guess, 19 or 20, something like that. Right? Let's see. Yeah, because I was 21 when I found Elijah Muhammad. So I was in Vietnam. I was about 20, I think, 19, 20, something like that. And yeah, man, you. I said, no, I wouldn't do anything like that. Why would I do something like that for? You make a lot of money. I said, yeah, make a lot of money, make it, my people look stupid and ignorant. Yeah, but you can use that money to help your people. I said, oh man, you better get the hell out of here. What you talking about? I'm gonna make them look stupid, and then I'm gonna take the money, right, from making them look stupid to make them look better now. I mean, okay. They can't get, it's not enough money in the world. They can't, it's no enough. Remember the story about Jesus in the desert? Joshua or Jesus just went in the desert? Where Satan said, hey, I give you all this. If you bow down for me, you wouldn't do it. They tried to get Farad also. Read the story of Balaam. They tried to get him to do it also. See? Something in a way I wouldn't do it. That's why he's clowning. Their excuses, well, man, I'm trying to, I couldn't do nothing else, man. I mean, they wouldn't let me do anything else. You should have went out there and shovel shit. I'd rather shovel shit than to go out there and make my people look like a fool. So they have no excuse. And they're going to pay for it. See? They're going to pay for it. So I thought I'd tell you that story. So that's what the demon's purpose is for. See? To make you look like the fool that they're characterizing you to be to the world. And that's what they're doing. So that's how that picture fits. Do you understand that picture now? That's the picture. That's the picture the world sees. See? They don't see. That's why Elijah Muhammad messed it up. He messed the picture up. See? Because all of a sudden, we was a civilized people. We was taking care of business. We was building a nation. You understand? We was taking care of our women. Our women was taking care of themselves. They was acting civilized, right? Respectable. And that messed that picture up. You understand? And they really start pushing, right? That's when they really start pushing stuff with these people. With these Martin Lawrences and all these clowns. They really start pushing that. All these black exploitation films make black people look stupid, ignorant. All of them. We immoral. We slick. That's the characters they have. They've been saying every slave. Remember, they try to make who's the dumbest, ignorant people on the planet, and we show it. And then these Democrats. Oh boy. I mean, whoa. That kind of like seals the deal on it. When these people foment them about the Democratic Party. So I'm gonna move on, brother, with that. But you get the picture. But now, if you bring out the real picture of us, see, even with the Farrakhan's that took his job was to get that picture of Elijah Muhammad, erase it, and distort it. That's what he's done. Because now you got Mexicans sitting there wearing. He said he's gonna bring devils in, and have them wear white uniform, the NGC uniform. Gonna bring. Really? That's what he said. Got the tape. It's not a transcript. It's him talking. A picture, the whole thing, video. See, because they can't have that image because that was messing their image up. So he's got to take it. That's why I said, it says Aaron will make a people a mockery before the enemies. That's just telling you that. These are enemies. He has to make him a mockery, a caricature before enemy. Like we was and they was not respected anymore. It's Scientology, all this stupid stuff. See how they go for that stupid shit. Scientology, everybody knows that stuff is sick, crazy. But the people that's in it, it's just another form of Catholicism. New Age. What's the bottom line of Catholicism? Confessional, right? Confessing all your stuff to the priest, now you do it to, right? The priest of L. Ron Hubbard. That's what it says. Read Aaron. I said, any fair reading of that stuff shows you right there. It reveals who Aaron Farrakhan is. He's true. The people with him are demons or people that have no love for truth and scripties. Those people is with him. That's what it says right there. Read about the son of perdition. So you waste time convinced with them. And the thing is, they're going to make sure this message, they're taking, doing everything they can to make sure this message is restricted as much as possible. See? Because they know this is talking about scripture and explaining all that stuff. So that's where we are right now. So I try to give you a brief understanding of how all this fits together. See? Those clowns out there, Chris Rob, Greg, whatever his name is, Or I can't name all these clowns. I don't watch any of them. Yes, they make it look like fools. Because that's what the people in the world look at us. See how they are? And those are those demons. Those are demons. And a lot of you love with them. Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them. They would never be in no position. If you think they'd be in a position if they wasn't slave masters, if they wasn't slave masters' children, let them get to start talking about Elijah Muhammad in a positive way. See how long they stay on top. If you think they can stay on top of their own, they can stay on top of their own because their music, because they so such great. Remember what happened to so-called Public Enemy? They were so powerful, so great, right? Until Dr. Griff, or what his name was, right? Professor Griff, what his name was. He said something about Jews, and bam, they told him if they were lifetime buddies. They grew up together. They told him if you don't shut him down, we're gonna shut you down. They shut him down. So if there was music, if they was getting it because they're strength, their talent, everything, then they wouldn't matter. They said, well, hell, you, we keep on going. They weren't there because Master got to certify them. If they don't, they're not going to stand up there. And that's with Jay-Z, all of them. That's even with Oprah. You think she got that money? They can shut her down overnight. Let her say something. That's why she never had nothing to do with Nation of Islam at all, at least publicly. You get real, brothers and sisters. It's coming to a head. And the faster you get ready, because nobody's saying, you coming together in a minute, because ain't time yet. The party ain't balling yet. The problem is we're trying to get information, so when you get ready, then you know where to go. It's like, you get training. Say, okay, there's a fire alarm, so they tell you what to do. So the fire alarm happens, you know where to go. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you the training, so when it's time, because you be running around, say, oh man, trying to figure out what's going on. Because if you do, you're going to be confused. You're going to run into something and you're going to knock your brains out. That's my job. Get you prepared. See, so light beyond, so you recognize the light. Because we all come together. See? We all come together. See? You're not just coming together, any kind of way. Right? You got leaders that's right now, right? They've been energized also. But they use their energy to bring you together. So they get prepared. See? So when the time comes, we'll come together, twinkle of an eye. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's go into the presentation. Okay, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about the 5 fundamental principles of the universe. In other words, the universe is just force. It's just energy. That's all. It's just energy. Energy is force. But it manifests itself in 5 different forms. That's what we're going to talk about. Manifests itself in 5 different forms. Well, the 5 fundamental forces, or 5 fundamental mathematical principles of the universe. Because it's just mathematics. Energy is just mathematics. It's kind of hard to kind of get that concept over. It's just mathematics. It's mathematics. See? So, the primary is consequence. See? From consequence, all the other ones come from. The other 4 is result of consequence. They're all based on the concept, covers them all. Consequence means for every action, it's opposite equal reaction. It's consequence, right? See? It's the equal sign. It's justice. What's on one side, the equal sign has to be on the other side, right? But it's faith, because first there's action, and the faith is that there's going to be, because you don't know. Remember, faith is something that you don't know, you can't know, but because of faith, you know it. You see, because you can't actually know it. Let me put it a different way. It's like, I use this analogy all the time. You put a pot on the stove that's lit, right, with water in it. Now, you don't know it will boil, but you have faith that it will boil based on your mathematical knowledge, your experience, your scientific knowledge, okay? So there's a time element there, right? It means you have the action, and then you have to have the reaction. The reaction is always spontaneous, but it may not be spontaneous. It may not seem spontaneous in the sense, like, say for instance, use this analogy. Say for instance, you take $1,000 from someone that you weren't supposed to take, right? Okay, that'd be a consequence. That means, right, that now you got to get that $1,000 back some kind of way. So what if you don't give it back in money? What if it comes back to you in like a tumor, a growing tumor? See, so therefore you don't see it. See, you may not see it, but it's there. That's where faith comes in, because the person you took it from says, well, I know this person's paying for this. That took $1,000. I know they're paying for it. See, that's the faith coming. I know, because that's what you have to know, that when something happens, there's a constant. That's the faith comes in. That's where faith comes in. You have to know that it's going to happen. That's justice. That's what consequence is. But there's a time element there. In other words, it's a I wouldn't say so much a time element, but it's action, right? And you know you may not see that reaction, but you know there's an action taking place. You know it actually, but you may not see it. That's the definition of faith. See, you may not see it, but you know it's going to happen. It's based on mathematics. It's based on some kind of, right, some form of mathematics. Okay, it's consequence. Then you got the other four. We're going to talk about the other four. They all are consequences of consequence. There are different just expressions of consequence, different phases of it, different aspects of it, same thing, right? Different expressions of it. Okay, so let's go on. Here's consequence, see? Every action has an opposite equal reaction. Hit the action, boom. See? The reaction is exactly the same as the action. It's just opposite. See? That's not something Photoshop. That's the physical phenomena, right? They hit that ball, and the force spreads through the other ones to that one, and has an equal reaction. Just an opposite. It's an opposite one, but it's equal. Consequence. Was on one side equal side, it's be on the other. That's consequence. That's the most fundamental principle of the universe. Everything is based on that. That's why having at the top of the pyramid, that all the other aspects are result of consequence, just different expressions of it. I just want to give you a quick example here. I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself here. And just bear with me, because I am getting a little ahead of myself here. Everything balances. So this is an example, just if you follow it, you understand what I'm talking about. Now this is a cavey mind. The cavey mind, right? Like if somebody's bothering them, they say, well, they solve the problem, they just kill it. Well, they haven't solved the problem, because they haven't changed anything, right? They got a negative 10 situation. They say, I want to get rid of this negative 10, so they just get rid of it. They're still gonna have, so now they're gonna have a -5 plus another -5. It just won't look like the other. It won't look like a 10. It just look like two -5s. It still would be there. And this is what I'm trying to show you here. See, he hit it, got rid of it. All he did was create two more, and he's got the same problem he had before. It's just different. Instead of being what? Instead of being 3 plus 6 is 8. Now it's 1 plus 7 equals 8, or 4 plus 4 equals 8. It's still 8. You understand? So they go around killing somebody, All right. Then they create two more enemies that they don't even see now. That's going to hurt them just as much as that one. It hurt in different ways. So instead of cutting his foot off, maybe cut his hand off. You haven't accomplished anything by doing that. Only thing you do is just change the nature of it, right? The only thing you change 5 plus 2, right, to 3 plus 4 or 1 plus 6. You understand? I need you to understand that principle. See? So when you go out, so murderers don't, you murder your problem, you never solve the problem. Unless that's your intention, you want to make it look different, right? It's like going and taking one coat off, put another coat on, right? It's a different coat, but still got a coat, still serves the same function. So you say, well, I don't want this lion to be an enemy, so I'm going to kill it. Now I got 10 hyenas my enemy. I'd rather be dealing with hyenas than I'd rather be dealing with lions. You still got the same problem. It's just the color is different, different flavor, same problem. See, like I was saying about well, I'll say this. You know, the KV, the Europeans, everything they have right now, they would have had anyway. See, the difference between the person that has a $1 million shit mine and a person that has $1 million gold mine or $1 million diamond mine, the difference is the person. Both of them are worth $1 million, difference in the person. Because one person is a shit person, so they got a shit mine, shit farm. One person, a gold person, they got a gold mine. They're both worth $1 million. It's the person that makes a difference. Both got the same. What white folks have right now, they would have had anyway. They was given rule, but because they're evil, they got it by evil because that's the way they do things. They think evil. If they had came over here, right? Because remember, the so-called American, the so-called Indians welcome them. They come over here, they've been nice to them, right? Then they probably been friends. And when they was building this technology, white people, they probably said, yeah, man, we probably want to go along with that. They might have wanted to be part of the American system. They probably wanted to blend in. See? They might have wanted to do that. You see? And then black folks might have wanted, hey, we got work over there. Okay, we'll come over and do some work. You give us some gold or whatever, you know, we come in work and send people over here and work, and come back, go back home. Black folks might come anyway. Some might stay. They still would have had all this anyway. The reason why it is like this is because they have nature. Remember, everything comes from the mind. So they got all this killing, genocide, all that kind of stuff, is because that's what they are by nature. You understand? That's why Jesus said they're followers of the devil. And the works he will do. They see Abraham, they do his works. If the reverse had been between us enslaving them like they did us, it wouldn't last 5 minutes because they would have murdered, killed, and everything. They wouldn't have tolerated that, but we submitted. We was humble people. Because we're humble people, we're righteous people. And we knew, that's why we submitted to this, because we knew, you understand, that no matter what they did to us, it still was going to balance out. We knew it was suffering energy deprivation, so we said, okay, we'll tolerate this bad water for no water. We'll tolerate this bad civilization for no civilization. Because otherwise we'd be running around in Africa, beating each other up, killing each other, and everything else we was doing, right? Instead, we're over here, we're suffering on this devil, these devils, right? But, you know, hey, we ain't killing each other, right? We do have something to eat. We ain't been chased by lions. You understand? Because the righteous people say, okay, we'll be peaceful. We'll submit because we're peaceful people. We didn't submit because, you understand, we were wicked people. Because we're peaceful people. And we're slow to anger. But now we're getting angry. It says, now the day of his wrath has come. It didn't say, he don't get angry. It says, slow to anger. That's the whole difference between not getting angry. So I hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. We don't understand ourselves, who we are, and who they are. They got all this, the reason they got it, because that's their, they would have had anyway. If they had came over here and just been just, which they can't. But if they had been just, they would have got all this anyway. They would have got all of it anyway. The reason why it's like that because that's what they didn't have to steal and cheat and get. They would have got anyway. But that's their nature to get it. You understand? When people, you see a person out there that got a shit farm, look at the person. If their shit farm worth $1 million, and they're still sitting up there smelling that shit, look at the person. It ain't the farm, it's the person. Because if they was about diamonds, they was get rid of and go and get a diamond farm. Like I said, Islam changes shit into diamonds. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. Okay. Now we said consequence was, right? That everything is based on that. That's force, primary. Every action has opposite equal reaction. So then we say that the 4 other principles that based on that. Spin. Spin is another. Anything that spins, right, produces torque. Torque is an uplifting force. See? You have a top that's spinning, the more it spins, the more uplifted it is. If spin starts wobbling, eventually it just falls down because it needs spin to keep it going. So spin is an uplifting force. Plus anything that spins produces a magnetic field. See? So that's one of the primary force of the universe, one of the manifestations of one of the primary force of the universe. Right? Spin, consequences is the base of all of them. Spin is one of them. Okay? There's 3 more. Spin. See? Then you got currents. See, spin is a force, right? Torque is a force. It's an uplifting force. Remember, all this is a force. Now, currents is force also. Right? Force and pressure is the same thing. Right? Pressure is just force spread out. So here you go. That's a differential. We see positive. That means it's more force on that pressure squared on that side than it's on the negative side. That means it's going to push everything towards the negative because the higher pressure pushes the lower pressure. See? So that's force also, currents. That's another aspect of, right, the 5 fundamental mathematical principles of the universe. Currents. Okay? Some positive, the positive is a strong current, stronger force, stronger pressure, pushing towards the lower pressure. Okay? Then you got mass times acceleration. That's the ratio between mass and acceleration. So I said everybody has equal force. Everyone has equal force. So if the force is 12 and your mass is 12, right, then your acceleration is 1. If your mass is 1, your acceleration is 12. If your mass is 4, your acceleration is 3. If your mass is 6, your acceleration will be 2. If your mass is 2, your acceleration will be 6. You understand? Still come out to 12. See? That's what it's all about. See? So we see that the red is the lower mass, so it moves faster. Right? The black is the higher mass, so it moves slower. Mass times acceleration. The more mass you have, the slower it's going to move. The less mass you have, the faster it's going to move. That's what it's saying here. See? So that moves faster. That gets back to KV. KV moves faster than us, thinks faster than us. Right? But he doesn't think as deep as we do. See? He thinks faster, but he doesn't think as deep. Because we have a deeper structure, we have a stronger structure. So it requires more energy for us, so we move slower. It requires less energy for them to move faster because they have a weaker structure. So they think faster, right? But not as deep. Okay. So mass times acceleration, that's another aspect of force. So we got 2 more. Got 1 more, last one. Harmonic motion. It's not the best example of harmonic motion. Means everything is moving in the same direction, no conflict. See, no conflict. Harmonic motion is the absence of pressure because you put something under enough pressure. Pressures when things are colliding. That's what pressure is. Harmonic motion is when you put so much pressure on it that they stop colliding, they start moving in unison. Everything moving together in harmony. Harmony is greater than peace. People in the graveyard are at peace. You can have peace without harmony, but you cannot have harmony without peace. Okay? So harmony, this is an example. Everything's moving in sync. Everybody moving around together. There's no conflict. Okay? Moving around a point, everything's moving, no conflict. Okay? That's a simplistic way, but we'll see if we move on where it matters. Now we talk about the five. Now we're going to say, well, what's this? Those are five, but those are also the five principles of Islam, the five pillars. And we're going to show that. Now, how come all these scholars that know so much about Islam, they didn't know that the five pillars of Islam was the first five fundamental principles of the universe? Because they don't know shit. They always told they don't know anything. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics Islam. Elijah Muhammad told you that, for I taught him that. And I'm proving it to you right now. I just showed you the five. Now you show me any forces more fundamental than that, show it to me, then we can shut up here. Those are the five fundamental principles that the universe is built on. Everything is built on those five principles I just showed you. So we're going to see how they connect with the five pillars of Islam. Faith. See, when that ball hits there, you don't know that the other ball going to do that. That's faith. You believe it, you don't know it's going to do it. You have faith it will because you believe in consequence. So if you would set this thing up from scratch, you say, well, let me set the thing up and I'm going to try it. And if consequences work, that means when I hit that ball, the other ball in the end going to come out and going to be at the same angle and everything the first one. You don't know, but you have faith that it will because you believe in consequence. That's what you mean. You say, you believe in God. Who is God? God is mathematics. You believe in God to do what? Give justice. That's what justice is. Consequence. Consequence of your actions. What's on one side equals side on the other side. That's faith. You say, oh, well, I believe in God to do what? The most fundamental reason why you believe in Allah, a God, is because of justice. When you boil all down, that's why you believe in justice. That's why you do practice Islam, because you feel like if you do that, you're going to get reward for it. That's justice. I think that's enough. I can go into more. But if that's too difficult for you, then you should go any further. Now, salah or salats. That's torque. How's that torque? Okay, there's this thing in the Quran called prayers, and there's also this thing called salats, right? There's two types. There's one where you do your 5 daily prayers, and there's also another one where it says, if you recite the Quran for half the night, 2/3 the night or whatever, this recite the Quran, say the regular prayers. It's beyond the prayers. And if you recite it in a voice not loud, tell you exactly how to do it, the more you do it, the better. It says, maybe Allah will raise you to raise you to a state of great glory. They don't say that about the 5 prayers. You mean this practice will raise you to a state of great glory? What is this? What is it all about? You recite it. Now, when you understand your physiology, right, you know your voice is connected to your heart. So whatever your voice is, whatever state your heart is going to reflect your voice. If your heart is weak, your voice is going to be weak. If your heart is excited, your voice will be excited, right? If your heart is nervous, your voice will be nervous. Whatever your state your heart is, your voice is going to reflect that. You cannot disguise it. You try, but you can't. So you say, okay, so whatever state your heart is, your voice is going to reflect it. Well, you can reverse the process. You can inculcate. You understand? Okay, put it the other way. Now, we say, the Quran says this is the voice of God. This is his words. So that means, if it's connected to his heart, that means if these words are firm, that means it comes from a firm heart. And we would say Allah is the firmest of hearts. That's what Abraham prayed for. Make my heart firm. So it'd be the firmest of hearts. So that means his words will come from the firmest of heart. So you can inculcate his firmness by reciting his words, because your voice reflects your heart. So you reverse the process. So by reciting this, you firm your heart up. So the more you recite, the more firm your heart will be. Right? But what's your heart? Your heart is the motor, right, of the governor of your circulatory system. Anything circulates, create torque. Torque's an uplifting force. You get it? So the more you recite, the more right you're going to be. But it also creates a magnetic force. Spinning creates a magnetic force. Magnetic force affects other people. It forces some people away and attracts some people to you. Depends on their force. Depends on their nature. That's what that is. So that's why you recite. The more Quran you recite, that's why for Rod, what did he do? He took and recited the Quran 6 to 8 hours a night, walking back and forth. And it's not easy to do that. I tried 3 hours, it almost killed me. I said often. Right? I say you should do at least 1 hour a day, at least, at minimum. And the voice not loud. You don't say it silently, you actually say it. And you found that it's difficult. I find older you get, more difficult is, I guess, because your heart gets older, something, whatever the reason is, right? But still, you can do it. You just have to be more patient with it, and you don't rush through it. See, so that help you have patience and things. Because as soon as you start doing it, all of a sudden you have all stuff happening, all the kind of stuff during the day. You focus, and afterwards stuff goes away. So it's a whole lot of aspects there. Anyway, it's an uplifting force. That's your talk. That's the second one. Spin. Affects your heart. And also affects your circulatory system. Because it's spinning. Circulatory system means circulatory, means it's spinning. Right? Your heart's spinning around your heart. That's two of them. That's the second pillar of Islam. Right? Second fundamental principle of the universe, mathematical. Now you got zakats. Currents. Currents is a differential. Is a pressure differential, a force differential. If you have force low on one side or pressure low on one side, then another, you can have a current. That's what you have. So, I said everyone has equal force, correct? Everyone has equal force, everyone. Everyone has equal pressure. It's just how it's distributed. If your body is very complex, like ours is, then you require more of your energy to maintain that, so you have less energy for disposable energy to do other things. See? The cave, he has a less complex body, he's a stripped down version, but he don't need that much to maintain himself. So he's got all sorts of energy, energy that he used to rule. That's why he can build civilization. As energy come back to the plant, as we increase the energy, then we'll get back to we can rule again. And that's about to happen. We're going to take our rulership back. We're about to unite. We're going to be united before the year's end, brothers and sisters. We'll be united as a nation. The original people will be reunited as a nation before the end of the year. No doubt. Much sooner than that, actually. So, what is this about zakat? Okay, look at it from this point of view. If you take something, remember, we got the same amount of energy. So say all of us have $1 million, all of us have $1,000 a day, right? So you take 500 from someone. Now they have less energy than they had before. But you got $500 more than you're supposed to have. So you got 1,500, they got 500. You just created a current. So now you just created 500 negative energy units. 5 units of negative energy, that's what you just created. Negative energy or bad luck. And for them, you created 500 units of good luck, 5 units of positive energy. See? You create a current. See? So it's coming back to that person. It's coming from you some kind of way. So either you're going to give them the money back, right? Or you may give somebody else that ends up getting back to them. It's going to come back to them, right? Or you do something that you don't realize is going to help them. It's coming back to them some kind of way. It may come to you in the point of you may start growing a tumor. That's worth that weaken you for 500 units, 500 units of energy. And the other person, they may have a tumor they didn't realize, and also it's healed. They didn't even realize they had it, and the body just heals it. And they never even knew they had it. It's going to balance. One way it's going to balance instantaneously. You may see it, you may not see it. See? You may take that and all of a sudden you get a car accident and now you got $500 worth of damage in your car. Well, this other person gets a deal where he goes buy a car and they knock $500 off. You understand? It's going to happen one way or the other. It can happen in all kinds of ways. Like KV did all this stuff. I got the best military in the world, all this stuff. He's trying to block the pressure right? That's coming after him because the pressure is building up, it's becoming great, he can withstand. So he blocked nuclear bombs, he blocked tanks, he blocked planes, he blocked everything else. So it came in the form of a virus. And it's killed just as many people as Taliban had killed. The Taliban only killed 80,000 people in Hiroshima. 80,000 people. They've already killed 200,000 people in America. So it's like they had dropped 3 atomic bombs on America. You understand? It's still killing them. It comes one way or the other. They can't stop it. So they try to stop this, but it comes another way. They can't stop it. And the pressure's building up on them. If they find a cure for this, they can't find a cure. Just come again another way, instantly. So you see, trouble, all this trouble is just building up. It's getting worse and worse and worse. You understand? So in the case of zakat, if you take in charity and give to people that have, some will have more, they give people have less, right? Okay, there's a current. In other words, if you have $1,000, the other person have 500, right? And you get them, you got 100 and they got 50, right? So you give them 25. Now you got 75, they got 75. There's no current anymore, right? Because you're equal. But if you let that current, if you step and get 1,000, 10,000, this person only got 10, you got a real strong current. That's revolution. That means these poor people come and take from you. Because now you build that current up, and now that's why you got to start building security and all that kind of stuff, trying to keep it, because now the tension pulled away from you, gets stronger and stronger and stronger. You understand? So by charity, you stop that. You stop the revolution, because you keep things balanced. You give those who have more, give those who have less. That's what charity is about. So you stop that current. Otherwise, you get current gets stronger and stronger and stronger until it pulls you apart. Remember? Tension pulls you apart. So you don't give charity, you keep building. You got more tension on you, pulling on you. See? So when you give charity, you stop that current, or you slow it down. See? That's what charity, that's what zakat is. Those who have more give those who have less. So you equalize the situation, so then you don't have that tension between the two. See, that's the tension building up more and more in America, and that's why people in the streets and stuff, because you got people getting wealthy and wealthy and wealthy, people get poor and poor and poor. So you build a greater, that happened in the French Revolution. So poor people came and took it away from the rich people. You understand? That's the that's what zakat's all about. That's why you give in charity. Give those have, to get those have less. So you balance, the perfect thing is to balance out where everybody has, right? Equal amount of energy. But in America, capitalism, you're taking off from the poor. See? You're taking from them. So now current is building up. That's what capitalism is all about. Exploiting people. By definition, you make a profit when you exploit. In other words, how you make a profit? You give someone less than what they deserve, that's your profit. That slavery is the maximum profit, ain't it? Because you work and you ain't giving nothing. You give anything. Maximum exploitation. Okay, what's the fourth one? Fasting. Now what's fasting all about? Fasting is the ratio between mass, food, and energy. Mass time is celebration. Celebration, energy, and mass is food. Brothers and sisters, this is so simple. That's fasting. So in other words, the more you fast, the more energy you're going to have. The less you fast, the less energy you're going to have. That's what it's saying. So once you get used to it, first you gotta get used to it. Once you get used to it, in other words, if you eat 3,000 calories a day, 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 in the afternoon, 1,000 in the evening, right? You're slowing yourself down. So why not eat 3,000 one time a day? You ain't losing any calories. You ain't gonna starve to death. You maximize your energy. See? Because you're not eating all the time. So what if instead of doing 3,000 calories in one day, why not do 6,000 calories every 2 days? Or 9 calories every 3 days? 9,000 every 3 days. You still got the same amount of calories, you're not starving, but you maximize your energy. That's the fourth with fasting. That's all about. You maximize energy. If you maximize energy, you can do all other things. The more energy you have, the more other things you can do. That will help your energy deprivation situation. See, because you maximize your energy. That's what the Sabbath was all about. See, the Sabbath was all about that. It's more of a sign that you understand about energy deprivation, because it's telling you that you didn't have enough energy, right, to be functional 7 days a week. So it said take one day and don't do anything. Remember, that's the whole thing. Don't do anything on the Sabbath. Nothing. You can serve your energy. So that means you can spread out, have a little more energy the other 6 days. That's what that's all about. I'll talk about it more another time. That's what it's all about. So there's your fourth one right there. It's mathematics. You didn't see it before, and those scholars weren't telling you this. Now you can't see it. You think this is not right? Did I change something? Fast is not a ratio between mass and energy, food and energy. There it is. It's mathematics behind it. And the fifth one, the Hajj. Remember circular? Everything going the same direction in a circle. No collisions. Right? No fighting or nothing. That's the Hajj. You got people from all kinds of sexes, ethnic groups, and everything else moving around a circle, right? And no conflict, no collisions, no anger, anything. People from all backgrounds, every race and everything else, right? And harmony, not peace, harmony. In harmony, there is peace. But in peace, there don't necessarily be harmony, because we have hard peace in the graveyard. There's the fifth one right there. Hajj is one of the most. These also are the five. Well, let me finish. That's the fifth one, harmony, harmonic motion. That's why it says it's enough. You put things under enough pressure, right? They start achieving harmonic motion. Once they achieve harmonic motion, there's no conflicts anymore, right? It just gets better and better. They move faster and faster and faster, but without conflict, right? Think faster, act faster without conflict. They work in harmony, and that's why it says. This war, this pressure wave we're getting right now, put so much pressure on the earth, right, that the whole earth will achieve harmonic motion. We get rid of this democracy. Democracy stuff is collision. That's collision. See, democracy is totally against. That's why you get this conflict between Islam and democracy, because democracy is chaos. It tends to chaos. It's not chaos. There's no such thing as chaos, because of chaos, there wouldn't be no universe. Chaos and order, harmony, they're totally enemies of each other. Both can't coexist. One will work against the other. So therefore, you got them trying to force democracy into the Middle East, and you got the Middle East trying to force, because they have some degree of harmony, trying to force that, and the two are conflicting, right? So it says it's going to be so much pressure that the world's going to achieve harmonic motion. So there won't be any wars anymore. There's peace forever. That's why it says there won't be any wars anymore. That's what it means. Once we achieve that, as Islam is mathematics, they say Islam is peace. That's wrong. Islam is harmony. See? And those things I just mentioned to you, right? Those things I just mentioned to you, well, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Time to go this way, okay. Those things I just mentioned to you right there. Those are the five fundamental principles of Islam, also the five fundamental principles, right? The five mathematical principles of Islam. Those are five fundamental aspects of the universe, the force of the universe. The universe is force, and that's the five fundamental expressions of it. It's also the five fundamental names of Allah. Allah, and they tell you, Sunnis tell you Allah has 100 names or whatever, attributes. But these are the most five fundamental, they're more powerful than the attributes. These are the most fundamental names, because they're the fundamental concept. That's the universe. Those are the five most profound attributes of Allah. See? So, Hajj, right? That's one of the most fundamental attributes of Allah. You have that name, right? That's the powerful names of the universe, because the most five fundamental principles names are those names. Harmony, which is represented by the Hajj, right? See, Zakat, Those names, those are the most fundamental names of Allah. Most fundamental attributes. Because all attributes are based on those. Everything is based on these 5. So, Hajj, you're God of harmony. See? Zakat, you're the God of currents. Okay? Okay. So, that's that, brothers and sisters. So, we'll leave it there. Hope you understand. Okay, brothers and sisters, I think I covered everything. I wanted to talk about those 5 pillars. Once you have mastered them, if God has mastered them, he will be able to put that will up there. Because it's based on all those forces when you understand it. See? When you understand, then you get the title master. When you master them. Not just mastering, it's not just learning them, but applying them. See? Torah applies all of them. See? That's why he's the God. The consequence, that knowledge right there is what gave him to build a plane. That's all these other ones are based, based on that one. See? Talk. He walks back and forth, reciting the Quran, 6 to 8 hours a night. See? Now you got to understand again. Let me talk about this Hajj one more time. Remember, I said everything has to be enough pressure. Is moving in harmony. But the other side of that is when you out there and you're teaching brothers and sisters the Injil, you teach about the 5 pillars, you practicing this, right? What you're doing is you're putting pressure, right, on people, and you put enough pressure on, right, and enough where you start rotate around you. See? So you create your harmonic motion right there. See, because you started that. That's what the leaders do. So when you're out there doing, that's what you're doing, right? See? That's it. Your brothers and sisters out there want to work with this, go out there, get your own crew. Because you guys talking, you got people start revolving around you. So you build your harmonic motion all of together. Because we know that's simple harmonic motion, the Hajj. But complex harmonic motion is like an orchestra, right? You got the horn, you got the drums, right? You got the violins and piano, all that stuff. And they all working together. And so you out there and you go out there and you get your crew, right? And it works with this crew. And work with that crew. Works with that crew. It's like your heart, your lungs, all that stuff work together, right? So that's what I'm saying. When you go out there, you're doing it. That's what you're doing. And it all comes together. Because it's all coming together. Because we all come together. We don't come together as robots. You got some engineers, some scientists, some engineers, all of them, right? Think about that, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Remember, you see Abraham, you're the apple of Farah's eyes. I'm the high priest here, preparing you. I'm Joshua. We're going home. Assalamu alaikum.